Well, good afternoon, everyone, and greetings from the Sleep Expo Middle East. This is a show dedicated to the region, sleeping and bedding industry. I'm Anil, the conference editor for the show and your host this afternoon. Now, as part of the ongoing knowledge series, Sleep Expo Middle East has been conducting webinars for the growing industry every month. Now, over the last few sessions, we've discussed a variety of topics that have impacted the mattress manufacturers and suppliers in the region. Now, today, we are here to talk about a very key challenge that the bedding industry has been facing for a while and its effect on the raw material supply. So, a lot of reports have stated that manufacturers across the region have been hit with what we call the perfect storm. Now, there's been a rise in the consumer demand, and at the same time, we've been facing a crunch in raw material supply. Now, what kind of long-term and short-term impacts has this had on the bedding industry, and how experts are kind of using alternate methods or solutions to overcome this pressing issue is something that we're going to be discussing this afternoon. Now, before I introduce you to our panel today, I want to inform all of you that this will be a multilingual webinar. So at any time, any of you in the audience would like our panelists to repeat or explain anything in English or in Turkish, do feel free to let us know in the chat box, and we shall comply accordingly. Now, also, I encourage all of you over here, to post in your questions in the question column to our panelists, and we will address this during the course of the webinar. We like to keep it as engaging as possible because we are all learning together. So do ensure that you post in all your questions, and then we can trouble our panelists a little bit more. So let's introduce our panelists for this afternoon. Today we have with us Mr. Honi, the General Manager of Innova Bedding. Also joining us today is Mr. Anil, the Director of Leggett and Platt, and Mr. Mohammed Khalid, the Marketing Manager of Boytex Textile. So welcome everyone, and thank you so much for taking time out for us today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mega.
Great. So let's start off. Now, to begin with, I want to ask all of you out here today, in what way has your approach towards the business changed, especially post the onset of the pandemic? Who would want to go first?
Onder, please start as a business leader. You have the nice overview, please.
Thank you very much. Hello to everyone. Good afternoon, good morning. I see many audience from different parts of the world. Thank you for joining us. Of course, we miss each other. Normally we were meeting at exhibitions or we were visiting each other. So I'd like to thank you to Media Fusion, Sleep Expo Middle East management team, and Mega for organizing this nice webinar. Actually, there is a time frame. I was telling that we need a lot of time to talk about, so I try to make it short. The short entrance. Of course, we are talking about this new era for the world, all the industries. Of course, in particularly, we are going to talk about mattress industry. Actually, I think the first and the most deeply affected mattress industry very early in the beginning, because one of the main materials, spunbond, non-woven, was the main for the mask, main products for the mask, and it's also a main product for the mattresses. So it started to affect us directly and deeply. Okay, because mattress producers are using the non-woven for quilting, also mattress taking producers for using for lamination. So it started to affect us very deeply. So after that, the others came. Of course, the market situation has been changed. Also, sales channel has been changed. So we have to adapt a lot of things in the same time. So these case, COVID-19 case has teach us a lot of things in my perspective. First, we have learned how to work with less people. Many people were affected COVID-19. So we have learned that less people. We have learned how to work from home. We stay, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, March, April, May, June last year, we work from home. Of course, after that, we have, of course, understood this online sales, importance of online sales, and also we have learned importance of working plan and future estimations are became more important. And also we have seen that if we really need, we can make long-term plans, and we put our orders earlier to our suppliers. Also, we have learned to be patient also, because in the past, when suppliers became 1 or 2 days late, we were getting too angry. But now, when they say 3 months, we say, okay, it's good term. So we have learned to be patient also. It teaches us. But of course, after this first non-woven problem shortage, then after we have seen that the people postponed their needs, their purchasing. So in June it has been opened suddenly, and we were not well prepared. So we have seen very high demand but less supply. So it caused really maybe the most strange time of mattress industry. Since 1998, I'm in this industry. I have seen this boom demand, and of course the people were happy with the orders, but we were not happy with supply problems and also managing orders, managing factories. So it teaches also a lot of things during this period. So of course we were thinking it was maybe the last problem, but we see some other problems like transportation problem, shortage of the raw material problem. So these all, I don't want to say all at the beginning. This is my short overview for the what has been changed in the business in the last 1 year time.
And you've been hit from every side, but we do have 2 very key suppliers also in the panel. So I want to know from both of you, how your approach has changed towards the business. Of course, online was not a very key option for either of you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mr. Ali, if you can take this home.
Again, I really want to echo Önder's thoughts. Thank you very much, and welcome everyone. It is a good chance to meet each other, and industry has to come together and discuss many things to become successful for the future. I don't want to talk too much about the pandemic because everyone knows the situations, but I really want to talk about the uncertainty that we're having at the moment. So in people's behaviors, unknown things makes people hectic, and you fear from this is happening to us with any lockdowns before. I mean, this big scales, border closings, stop of the productions, limitation in transports. So this is the first time, like Önder said, we're experiencing throughout the world. And I assume that there is a new era coming. Because this uncertainty is going to leave us to a little bit get used to the situation. And then we're going to see a new normal. So what is new normal? Because we all talk about new normals, and believe me, nobody knows it from today. There's going to be a normal, and we're going to learn it. We're going to start discussing it. We're going to share our ideas, and companies should invest in new normal. Okay, now these seminars are becoming new normals. So fairs is going to be online. We will have InterZoom first time digital tomorrow. The InterZoom Cologne is going to be live digital starting from tomorrow till Thursday. And in this situation, what we should do, we should be discussing, we should be planning, and we should create our goals and targets according to the new situation. So this is what I can say from the start. I really want to take all of the connections. This is very important because it makes the difference. When you start discussing, asking questions, sharing your ideas, so this is going to help us to move further. Thank you very much to Media Fusion, Sleep Expo Middle East, and I'm seeing a regional attendance, and very glad to welcome all of you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very nicely said, Mr. Anil. Mr. Mohammed, would you like to add to that as well?
Yes. Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. It's really pleasure to be here because we cannot see each other in the exhibitions, in the events. So actually, Mr. Onder and Mr. Ali has summarized all all the process that we had in last 1 year. Actually, I will handle this topic in a chronological order, like the adaptation, because in the beginning of the 2020, when we first hear about this COVID from China in the in a very early of 2020, in that period, China was struggling with these kind of problems. So all the rest of the world was not aware that much. So in the January and February in 2020, so the China was dealing with this problem, and actually I would say that the problem started with earlier than March, because the China is dominating all the world regarding raw material wise. For example, in our sector, in our industry, 78% of the polyester is coming from China. So it is really a huge source, and it's spreading all over the world from China. So when we, in January and February, there was lockdown in China, and if you couldn't have enough stock in your warehouse, you have affected from this. So and then let's come to the March. In the March, it's been declared to all the world as a pandemic, and then so we started to feel the real effects. So I can tell you in April and in May, so nobody was that much aware of this problem, because the China finished this problem in March. Let's say almost it was under control in March, but all the other world, like just remember Spain, Italy, it was it was horrible, and then so all the Europe, all the main markets for the bedding industry has been affected. So people couldn't felt that much because they were not working, they were at home, or they were in lockdown. So, but what happened in what happened after, starting with Germany in early June, it opened the country like normalization period. So it's a kind of adaptation. So people just started to back to normal, as Mr. Ali said and Mr. Onder said. So people started to be normal after this normalization period, and then all the manufacturers need the fabric because or need the other materials to make mattress or something related with the bedding industry. And then there was over demand. So nobody, I don't remember. I have been working in this sector over 12 years, and the maximum level I have seen is 70 days, 75 days. But we almost have seen 6 months, 7 months. It is not normal, So as Mr. Onder said, it's a kind of adaptation, because the manufacturers also adopted this period, and they couldn't see because there is uncertainty, and people started to secure their upcoming months. So they pushed orders. They had the forecast, and then they sent many orders to the raw material suppliers, and then so it affected everything. So there are, I think, many questions. I don't want to bother you because there are many things to talk, so I will make a shortcut. So it is generally a kind of adaptation, so we can say. Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. I mean, definitely, it's been a very unprecedented times, and we can not. I can't even imagine the kind of pressure it would have been on all of you as manufacturers. So, as a consumer, we don't really realize the challenges. But now I want to really ask all of you, as manufacturers, what were some of the key challenges that each of you faced? I mean, you had addressed some of them during your introductions, but are there any other key challenges that you would want to dive deep into? Mr. Onder, if you want to start off.
There was a lot of challenges, but the key challenges, of course, the difficulties was reaching products, raw material, reaching workers, reaching customers, because all the retails was closed. So the price increases, containers lacks. So there was a lot of challenges. These were the key challenges, but of course the main challenges, it was satisfying customer, because especially we are on the production sites. We are all B2B companies. We are producing raw materials or finished product, but satisfying customers really get tough. So maybe for long years I was talking my consultees and my companies that we have to be on the online. I'm not very happy to be very digitalized sales and marketing. We like to, especially this Mediterranean Sea or Middle East, North Africa and Africa, we love to touch each other. We love to talk face to face. We don't like too much the online and digital sales, but of course, what I was frightened that it's coming. I was telling it's coming. This digital age is coming, but what I see, it came very early. It accelerates this digital age, digital time. So what I see, when there was lockdown in many countries, the retail shops was closed. Even in Dubai, I think this Dubai mall closed. It was a big thing, I think, for Dubai, right? For Turkey also. Then of course, but business was running. Who was selling online? Who had stock in online? So it's, of course, many people. There is statistics that thousands or millions of people start to buy first time in their life online, because before many people was against purchasing online, but now It's not a selection. We have to now. We have to purchase something online now. I need to buy a computer for my child now. There is no way to buy out of purchasing online. So this makes us a little bit nervous. Okay, of course we were expecting, but we were not ready enough for that kind of digitalization. Okay, so online sales. So I'm a little bit upset for this. This is also, instead of sitting together and having coffee and chatting together in somewhere in the world, now we are sitting at our office and we try to understand each other with the voice of some strange voice on our earplugs, So these are the main challenges on my side. Okay. Mr. Ali, please.
Mr. Ali.
So the biggest challenge in this phase is mostly our people. So you can have the thousands of machines, but you need an operator to start and make the production. So in Leggett, there is a saying, it's all about the people. This pandemic showed us, yes, it is all about the people. You can have many machines, like I said, or you can have many trucks, thousands of trucks, but you need a driver or you need an operator to handle it. So this is one of the biggest challenges that we have faced in production. And also what we have understand in this phase, I'm talking on the manufacturing side. You need extra plans, whatever it is. You have to make your planning according to different scenarios. I'm sure nobody's expecting that kind of emergency situation, but if you make your plan and your strategy according to alternatives, so then you will be much more you're becoming much more flexible in these periods. So our first challenge is people. Still, we're facing problems about absence. This is one of the challenges because we have capacity. So it's not about the capacity. So we have capacity all around the world. As you know, Leggett is a global organization, has operations in 22 countries in the world with many business units. But we have capacity, but our people affected us much more. I would really like to thank to our people, to all the industry workers, operators, and of course to the health workers that has helped us and did a great job. Thanks to the people. One of our biggest challenges is to protect our people and to keep it in a sustainable way.
Right. Mr. Mohammed, would you want to add as well?
Yes. I have something actually Onder Bey and Ali Bey mentioned. From the point of view, for example, Onder Bey mentioned about daily life, the effects on daily life. And Mr. Ali mentioned about something about the humanistic, point of view. So it is both of them are the realities of the world, of our lives. So just from other perspective, about the operational things that affected the manufacturers and suppliers, sub-suppliers, all the industry, we can say this kind of affected let's say the chain. It's a chain connected very strictly to each other. So One of them is the cost. The raw material cost increased too much. I think it is one of the key challenges in this period. So as I said, there is connection with each other. So if there is a raw material, if there is an increase in raw materials, on the other hand, you will see the increase in the freight cost. So there is freight cost challenges. So it is the source is again China. So when you need the goods. I'm mentioning about the increases in the prices because it affects all the industry. The container prices was about $2,000 per container. Now it's about more than 10,000. Even it is in the let's say spot market. So if you know somebody, they find some containers for you, almost $12,000. So you lose when you buy, and even if you pay, you to find the available vessel. So you receive the goods and you make the production. You want to ship the goods, so there is unavailability on the containers. When it's a kind of big logistic problem that this period one of the most challenging points, and also in Europe and USA. So these two markets are very big markets for our industry. So it affected these markets, and now currently today the problem is the storage, warehousing problem. Why? Because for the last let's say England is closed for the 5-6 months. They just opened they just opened the market. So in last 4-5 months, the people started to make production for the stocks, so they cannot stop themselves. So there is a storage problem now. Warehousing. Thank you. That's we have limited time, so.
True. I mean, we can extend a little bit because it is going very interesting, the conversation. For those who've just joined us, we're here discussing a very key pressing issue that the bedding industry is facing, which is the raw material supply and how it's impacted the entire supply chain in the bedding industry. We've spoken about the key challenges. We've spoken about how the business itself, the approach has changed. So before we get into the next question, an audience has in fact asked a question. I think Mr. Ali, when Mr. Onder, you were talking about going digital. So there is someone who's called Mr. Anil, who's asked us that for raw material wise, what will be the new online apps? How will it possibly help to digitize these things? Are there sites like, Alibaba or new alternative systems that will come? Do any of you want to address this question?
Actually,
so
I talk a lot about this new situation, digitalizing. Of course, this is. In the past, we were thinking these only B2C, finished product will be able to sell through online. But now we have, I'm hearing that the online auctions, of course, now to purchase $1 million products, now we are now doing online. We are meeting with kind of meeting, and then we are bargaining, or we are making contract online. So this in the past I was thinking only the finished product, consumer products would be able to online, but now I see that now since many shops close, even these DIY stores close, people are purchasing even manufacturing tools through online. So I was consulting on a glue company. So this glue company was not thinking to sell online. One drums of glue couldn't be sold through online, but now people are purchasing through online. So it affects, of course, maybe especially these resellers, because people are reaching out directly to the customers, manufacturers. So also the channel is changing as well. So sales channel changing.
Are they sites dedicated for raw material suppliers? Are they dedicated sites as well? I think that's something that he was asking.
Of course, the Alibaba or similar sites was selling overseas or internationally. Okay, if you like, in the past, if you would like to purchase something internationally from Alibaba, so it was good way to use Alibaba or trade, etc. But now I'm talking about locally. Now, in the past, we were driving 3-4 hours, 5 hours, and we were purchasing, we were bargaining, or we were attending exhibitions, and we were making contract. But now, even raw materials are selling. Of course, I don't mention about online sales of the finished product. I think it's already boomed. It's already exploited, and of course, it's changed also the type of the product. I think this is another topic that we have to talk about. This it affects the mattress shape, even from fabric to the spring unit. It's all need to be adapted to the new type of mattresses for the online retail shops. That's all for that.
Thank you. I hope, Mr. Ali, I hope, Mr. Ali, that answers your question. I want to now ask you, Mr. Ali. We're not just talking about the shortage in raw materials, but we also saw a kind of impact on the price as well, especially with regards to foam. So what kind of led to this, and how did one really cope with this hike in price?
This is mostly related with the shortage of the material. So in economics, when there is a demand, price is the first factor that goes up. Since more than 10 years, industry is not developing very well. So in the bedding industry, we have seen some shortages throughout the years, some price changes, especially in the foam. But now, I don't want to talk about too much about an industry like foam industry or steel industry or fabric industry, but foam is a chemical industry. It have its own challenges. There are few producers all around the world, limited. But please think about that. Each manufacturer has a supply chain. Even you're one of the biggest in the industry. Even you're producing gold from a mine. Your supplier is the nature. So and it's a chain. When you look at it, it is a great chain that lead us to with manufacturers. So first of all, demand increases the prices. And less alternative. If you have less alternatives like the foam production, I mean, it's related to the chemical sector industry. So things are becoming hectic, like I said, because transportation stops, factories is not working. You need to buy chemicals and additives to produce anything. So it's like a chain, and foam industry is too much linked together through these supply chains, because it's not just one step. Like any other industry, but foam is unfortunately is a monopoly all around the world. This is kind of a monopoly. And in this kind of production steps, you should be very much careful about the price inflations. And please know that nobody is very happy to increase the price above the industry limits. So, okay, it is always good for manufacturers to increase the price, but when you over increase, you're not going to sell it. So this is the rule. The market has to find its scale. And now what we're going to see, it is going to scale up. Yes, with the panic, there is increases, but it's going to scale up to a certain level. Like Mr. Mahmoud says, sustainability is the key factor here. Sustainability, don't think sustainability as an environment phrase. You have to sustain your business. You have to start and never stop your production. So this is, okay, prices went up. Believe me, it's going to come to a point, to a scale point in the industry. So the foam prices is going to find its way, and it's going to scale up there. And if you try to guess a price, try to make a price guess or price limitation, you're not going to do your business. So whatever the price is, you have to continue and sustain your business. And then years showed us that there is no overprice in the industries. So price always comes to a level because, of course, we all have complaints about the price. But it is one of the last things that we should be worrying at, because this big industry is going to scale up any price increase or decrease. But for the raw material shortage, price is not the biggest factor. Sustainability should be the because you have to sustain your production. And thanks to God, we are one of the luckiest industries, because home is becoming very, very much important throughout the world. People start caring with the homes, because now we're in lockdowns. You need a good mattress, you need a good sofa, or you need good appliances for your home. So we're one of the luckiest industries. I mean, bedding, you need pillows, you need good fabrics, you need good mattresses. So we are very lucky. So we should be in the transport, or we should be in the food industry. So they're not that much lucky than us. So each of us in this seminar, I'm seeing a lot of people from Turkey, from India, from Middle East. Again, my best regards to all of them. From Europe. So yes, we're going to be care about price, of course, but sustainability is the key factor. And I want to just say one thing about the digitalization. Yes, it is like I said, InterZoom is going to be digital starting from tomorrow. There will be new online showrooms. Sorry, like Elif said, regards to her also. Elif from Maya Textile Export Director. She should be in these discussions also. I know she's very active. There is going to be new platforms coming soon.
Great. I want to ask you also, Mr. Mahmood, how different has it been for the fabric industry? Is it, I mean, what kind of impact have you seen out there?
From the beginning, very early beginning, as Boytex, when we learned this problem from China, spreading to all over the world, it was we were guessing something that about this problem. So we are not only working for order based. I mean, we have enough stocks, so it helped us too much on this. So when it started, I already mentioned in the beginning of the webinar, in January and February, when we the smell of the taste is coming from China. So when we learned this, we had our precautions to secure our customers, our partners, because we are not working for short period. We need to see the upcoming months and the future. So we had enough stock in our warehouse, on the sea, and from the supplier. But when the China started to lock down, they were not able to send the goods, because they were not working. There was nobody to operate all these kind of things. So we had some alternative solutions for this from some other regions of the world, and we had enough stock. It helped us too much. But of course, as I mentioned, it's a kind of adaptation. So Boytex adapted itself for very very early, because we develop antiviral innovation, from the beginning, and Boytex is the first company that get the certification, because we already started at the late 2019, and we already started this kind of investigations. And in April, we had our antiviral product, which is a VGuard. We call it VGuard, and so it's also the continuous sustainability of adaptation. So we have to secure our customers, and we make the necessary plans, necessary actions in such period. Doesn't matter you have the yarn or not, but we had enough yarn, and we had to think about our customers, about their production, and of course we had the big capacity, but suddenly the demand increased too much. We were not expecting such increase, but of course regarding production wise, it affected all the sector, and but I think now the people get the experience for the last 1 year, so they know how to behave like they do now, because they forecast for maybe, for example, in Turkey we are in lockdown nowadays till 17th of May.
Yeah.
But people know, because they have experience, and they know they will need the fabrics, or they need the foam, steel wire, or whatever after the normalization, and they had their enough stock, orders, or the plan. So it's like this point of view. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And before we get back into our questions, I think there are a couple of questions that the audience has asked. So I want to address those first, since we do have very little time left. So we have Mr. Sultanat, who has asked us that how would you summarize the consumer behavior after everyone getting back to the new normal life? Do you see any kind of new trends in the bedding industry from the consumer point of view? Would anyone want to take that?
She's yeah. So let me just very nice question. Thank you, Sultanat.
Yeah.
So yes, there is going to be. Sorry on that. I just started.
No problem. No problem. Go on.
Briefly,
I'm listening to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
The council, like I said, bedding industry is one of the, because we started to sleep too much. And what we have faced, each of us in the industry, an enormous reaction from our suppliers. So as a spring producer, I couldn't, I have to constrain the demand. So since like 2005, we never constrained the demand. So there is demand coming. Shops are closed. But what we have seen, a good demand is coming from the consumers. And it's surprising for us. It was surprising for us because the shops are closed. Who's buying the mattresses? Who was buying the mattresses? Then we understand that people are spending mostly their time at home. Today, yes, we have lockdown in Turkey. Now you have to stay at home for a long period, for more than 2 weeks. We should stay at home. Like in the UK happening, like in Saudi Arabia happening, like in Emirates it's happening, like in India. I really want to say my best wishes to all of them who stays at home. But yes, there is the behavior, consumer behavior is going to change because you need to invest in yourself. You need a good pillow. You need a good mattress. You need a good sofa to take care of yourself. Like I said, it's all about people. People will start to take care of themselves because you see, fashion industry is talking about minimize themselves. So yeah. But home is coming again. We say home sweet home. The consumers is going to take much care. Instead of buying a jacket, they're going to buy a good mattress because they understand that it's good for their life, it's good for their health, and it is good for being in a good moral, in a good shape. So mental health is going to be much more, and good life. This is very much related in our mattress industry. Thanks for the question. Very nice.
Thank you.
Right. That's so true. Mr. Onder, I want you to answer this next question because it kind of resonates the question that I had for you as well. With the current raw material availability issues, reducing the mattress manufacturing volumes, will it really reduce the kind of volumes that we're seeing in the near future? So I think you being someone in the middle who is doing manufacturing as well as, facing the raw material shortage, would be the right person to answer this question.
Yes, thank you. It's yes, I'm representing 3 companies, Innova Bedding, raw material suppliers for mattress industry. Inno is a mattress producer, and now we have Rikas Chemicals. We are supplying foam chemicals to the industry. So when I see these questions, actually we have first, of course, as Mr. Ali is saying, we are in a very lucky industry because this is my theory for the years. When Greece was in the crisis, I was telling them, don't worry, mattress industry will be never affected with the crisis or economic crisis or wars, because when you're born, you need mattresses. When you marry, you need mattress. When you divorce, you need mattresses. When there is a war, we need a lot of refugee mattresses. So when you peace, there is a baby booming time is coming. So always you need mattresses. So mattress industry has been never affected till now, but we see one more case. Also, pandemic is also giving good effect. Actually, as Mr. Ali is saying, the number of the mattress production is not going down. There is no figures that it's going down. It's increasing, but Maybe even sofa is maybe production is going down, but mattress is not. So the type of mattresses and relatively the raw materials are changing. For example, when the need type of mattresses should be compact, not heavy, lightweight, and very after opening it should be good shape. Okay, that's why it's starting from the foam. Now foam producers are asking some chemicals that after opening roll pack, the foam mattress should become the normal position. The resilience should be better. There will be no any collapsing. There shouldn't be any height loss. For example, of course, spring unit also say the spring unit, of course, was prepared for long years that for this kind of roll pack mattresses, but now it's more critical because the of course cost issues another important thing. Also, of course, for mattresses, as Mr. Rayat will agree with you, the people are asking non-wrinkle
Yes,
mattress stitching, right?
exactly. Yeah.
So all of course for example, we are selling cocoa fiber. In the past, cocoa fiber was not able to be rolled. Now you can make mattresses with coconut fiber. So of course today we are talking about raw material shortage or raw material problems and effects of the mattress industry, but we cannot, of course, separate it from the consumer behavior, because consumer behavior is changing. It's going to be answered also to Mr. Elif that the consumer behavior is changing. So we have to make something suitable for today for online sales, but not only for today, in the future, I think, because now people get used to buy from online, and there will be more. I think then the online shops are opening, so the products are getting adaptable to the online sales. So we see another important issue of marketing. So in the past, you don't need to introduce your products very deeply, but now in order to sell online, you have to introduce your products very deeply, with the diagrams, statistics, photos, pictures, etc. So now the people are purchasing not only advertisement, of course. Now Philip Kotler saying that the F factor. The F factor is friends, Facebook, family. Who is suggesting the product you are purchasing. Otherwise, or people, if some people are not suggesting the product, so it's coming a kind of self-control. So if you don't serve good product to your consumer, you will not be able to be chosen by your customers. Mr. Mahmoud saying something.
Maybe it's a kind of positive word of mouth for the consumers, as Cutler says, friends, family, and so it's a kind of word of mouth for the.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So these digitalization is. Of course, Alibaba is the main legend and might for this digitalization, but now everyone is in the online. Now I think if we ask every 100 people, maybe 70 of them is preparing something for online. So to be more, they are making more CEO arrangements, more online, of course. I think total number of social media users has been increased. Also, social media platforms are increasing. So the answer of question to Mr. Elif, I think it's coming automatically. It's not need to be a special organization. It's a kind of obligation.
Right, right. Great. So there are a couple of questions that are kind of similar to what we also had in our agenda. So let me just throw it out there to all of you. You know, we want to talk about the new markets. Do you believe that manufacturers can target new markets? And also, are there kind of alternate resources or kind of alternate raw materials that they can source locally as well?
Yes, I'm going to
Let me
start.
then start.
Okay,
Anyone
please.
of you
So,
want to
still,
start?
it's, uh, just it is. So of course we should always seek for the new markets. So this is there is no company in the world that needs a new market. Even the biggest one, the Coca-Cola needs a new market. So aspirin needs a new market. So everyone knows it. But what is much more important is to first of all we should be stepping our two legs very strongly where we belong. Then start from the region, from the close regions to the far locations. Says yes, we need new markets, bedding industry. So that's why, like Onder says, like Mahmoud says, now there are many solutions like bed in a box. We call it bed in a box. This is a mattress that you can ship easily anywhere around the world. And then you don't have any limits. But when you say bed in a box, it was before it is cheap mattress. Now what we're talking about high-end mattresses, like luxury in a box. So because thanks to fabric manufacturers, thanks to spring manufacturers, thanks to the different material producers, you can have new markets very easily with different solutions. And in this various opportunities, you will always have various supply opportunities. But one thing that is very much important, and I really want to, in the next phase, we should be talking about how to improve, because there is a problem, there is a shortage in raw materials, but really, Mecca, I really want to, in the next stages, how we can improve our the supply chain. This should be one of the topics. Yes, but you have to work with a reliable supplier, because since years we're promoting the Leggett and Platt as your reliable supplier and your service like technology provider. So you have to be careful about choosing, search for the alternatives. I 100% encourage all my the producers, find for alternatives, try to find, but you should be looking at is it reliable, or is it sustainable? So this is one of the most important things, because I have faced many scenarios. The factory completely burned out, but we never stopped their production. So this is a capability. When you start with the international companies, when you work with the international reliable suppliers, this is going to help you to get the technology. This is going to help you to sustain your business, whatever it is. Because what we say, yes, there is a shortage. We never let our customers to feel that. Yes, then we say we're sorry, but not to the ones that we used to work with. So, and if you work for years, you can't have a chance to say sorry, because the company relies on you. So this is, yes, you have to search for alternatives, but you have to find your the reliable supplier that can give you the technology that can sustain your business. This is the most important thing. Is we talk about sustainability, sustaining the business is the biggest part of it, because I'm sure that Vortex also never stopped its customers that has been working for years.
Yes, exactly.
This is the much more important, right, Mahmoud Bey? So
yes, exactly.
like Onder, yeah. So we talk about we're talking Onder monthly. We never say sorry to our suppliers, to our customers that counts on us. But there are and there are new entries. We said, okay, please understand that we're going to supply you, but our priority is our key customers.
Yes, exactly.
Well, yeah.
Right. There's also a question that's being asked, that is there a kind of an over dependency on China for raw material supply, or are people still looking at different regions as well?
So that you are the expert in this.
So, thank you very
Are
much.
you able to hear me?
Yes, so the question is the position of China, that they are becoming more, the monopoly in the world for this supply of the raw material. Is it the question? Because I couldn't get you very well.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, actually, what I'm thinking, also I am observing last maybe 6 months after June, when June 2020, when there was a problem on the raw material supply, a lot of investor has been started to produce raw materials for mattress industry. So I'm of course, maybe the main when we are talking about fabric, if the polyester depends on China, that's true. But on the other hand, there are new supplier for a special non-woven, because there was a big shortage on the non-woven, so a lot of new investment for the current producer, and also there are a lot of new producers. Moreover, new arise mattress sticking manufacturer, spring unit manufacturer, especially there was a shortage on the pocket spring, and now I'm expecting maybe oversupply in this is going to be, when we are talking about shortage today, we should talk about the future also. There will be also oversupply, I think, because of course demand is not slowing down, and of course now the business is not strong as January, February, and before. But I think that the demand is coming again, because for the mattress, of course, we are talking about, especially mattress industry, is going to come strong again after May, with normalization or without normalization. This is our chance. But after that, this strange situation that we faced June 2020 to February 2021 was extraordinary. There was a lot of demand, but less supply for the raw material, and of course many entrepreneur want to invest on this business. So since I am in many part of the industry, I know that steel machinery is coming. Maybe the main winner of this situation is the machinery producer, I think. What do you think? A lot of machinery has been sold last years. So main winner is machinery producer. I don't know if there are machinery producer in our audience. So steel machineries are selling I know that everybody has been invested. As of course the delivery time of machinery is very long. So if you order one machinery right now, you need to wait 6-8 months. So when these machineries are going to come back, we are not going to talk about too much supply problem or the domination of the China. But of course, the main raw materials like road, like polyester or foam chemicals. Some depends on China. So, but what I'm thinking always, when there is accumulation in the one industry, for example, when there is more mattress stitching manufacturers, so yarn manufacturers are rising. So I think that in the future, the side industry going to be get strong in Turkey. So of course, all these audience, and we know that Turkey is getting very good and very important position. It was already in a good position, but after this pandemic, I think we are going to be in the second position. We're still in the second position after China. So hopefully we will be number one. So we are going to break this domination of China. Hopefully.
We're getting a flood of questions, so I hope three of you have a little bit more time to spare for us, so we can address a few of the questions on both sides. Would that be okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, great. So we have someone who has asked us, the current situation in India. Just a minute. Yeah. The current situation in India being really tragic. That there's a lot of fiber routing and PES yarn material prices that will be more higher because of the lackness of producers. So how will bed producers reflect this cost increase in the future, and how can they compensate these overcosts?
Mahmut Bey, yarn fibers. So please go on.
Your business, believe
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
Actually, I catch the question exactly. So it is about there are fiber production in India. We know it. So I think are they? The question is about why we don't see the potential of India, right? Is it the question?
No, I think they're asking about how they can compensate these overhead costs that is occurring due to the lack of the raw material being supplied. That's what I could make out of the question.
It's so for overhead cost, it is really related to the company itself. So for example, at Vortex, we do. We do how we make how we minimize our costs by using the systems like Six Sigma, Kaizen, Lean, all these kind of things. It is we can say for more productive and to minimize the cost. So we do this kind of we follow this kind of projects. So I hope I could answer the question.
Yeah, I hope so too. I also wanted to check, ask all of you, we're talking about alternate revenue options as well. Do you believe that now innovation will take a backseat in Turkey this year because of the kind of challenges that everyone is facing right now?
Hard times ends and results with the innovation. So yes, we will see many innovations in the near future. Like Vortex did a great job on the viral fabrics. Yeah. It's a very nice reaction. It didn't came out from yesterday to today, but we're going to see many innovations in our industry. So I really want to talk about from my company. We're working on different scale of comfort layers that you can provide with the springs. So like with the foam price increase, we will start to offer foam alternatives with the spring cores. And you can reduce your foam in the mattresses. You start working with making with hybrids much more. And this is, yes, we learned our lesson as the industry leader. I can talk on about the spring side now. Yeah, we learned our lesson. There will be more innovations to follow. It's going to be much more lightweight due to the new logistics. Now our springs are very much lightweight. It has less material in it. I mean, lightweight is, and also it is, we're starting to make comfort layers with the springs. So yeah, innovation will definitely follow. And I see a question there about the PMI figures of European countries are announced and generally good, but bedding industry is suffering. So I can see that, yes, the Europe is doing very well. Let me just brief you about a little bit Europe. Yes, unfortunately, there is still a high demand coming from the big suppliers, big players. But one of the innovations is going to be on the production side. So now what we're going to do, more effective production with Six Sigma, lean productions. I've seen many lean experts listening. I don't want to join. Hi to Erkan Ekinci and Yatash team. There I see Gökhan Karahan also. I don't want to just talk about, because they're lean experts. But now there will be also innovation on the production side. We're going to make more production, more effective production to make this supply easier. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I have a few words to tell about this point. If, in such stage, Turkey never stop, for innovation. As Boytex, I will give some examples from Turkey. As Boytex, from the very beginning of this pandemic, I mentioned we produce antiviral, the first in the world. So on the other hand, now tomorrow we have exhibition, digital exhibition. So we will launch our innovations, which one of them is propolis. Everybody knows about propolis, so it's kind of guard for the, it's a kind of guard. So there are other innovations that we produce. On the other hand, in like Arçelik, everybody knows Arçelik. They have refrigerator and washing machine. All this, they have ultra hygiene products. So when we go for other like Touch and some other producers, they have curtains, bed linen, and other materials, which is good for this virus, antiviral effects. So we can say in Turkey, we are not take a back seat in Turkey. So innovation keeps going. Thank you.
Perfect.
Right. Thank you so much. I mean, of course, there's so many interesting questions that are coming out, but we are short on time. But I would like to end this by asking all of you one key question. Now knowing what you know, what would you have done anything different today?
Anything different you mean for the innovation side or the product? Actually, the innovation was
from to combat this shortage of.
Actually,
yes, sorry, Mr. Onder.
Yes, I'm observing all over the world. So the innovation is changing country by country. In some countries, they don't care too much innovation like Central Europe. Okay, they are more focusing on the function of the materials. Okay, so the innovation is functional innovation. So you don't see very bright marketing innovations in Central Europe. But like for example, Italy is of course an exceptional. They are always innovating, daily innovation. They have daily innovation, of course. So for mattress industry, that's why I'm telling that country by country, region by region is changing. For example, in Turkey, we are supplying raw materials for natural raw materials like horsehair, like coconut fibers, like cashmere wool. Latex is an innovation. Okay, Turkey and east part of Turkey, maybe till India and China. These materials are innovation for the mattresses, mattress manufacturers, also for consumers. But for Europe, it has been using for years, maybe or say over 100 years. It's a geographic product. Latex also was using in 1980s. So what I see in the last year during the pandemic time, people are making more deep search about product that they like to purchase. They are comparing with many products to each other. So they always try to find something natural, of course, organic, and always we are talking sustainable. I'm very happy that we are saying too much sustainability. We need it because we need the future for our child and children and the grandchildren. So now in the past nobody was asking. Of course, the countries, developed countries like Central Europe and America, people was talking for years about sustainability. But now we are in the Middle East, to be honest, right? So our audience are mostly from Middle East, and we are also talking about sustainability. Sustainability is innovation, and it's really very nice for everyone. Okay, so we are thinking that if we produce some mattresses with biodegradable, recyclable, circular materials, recycled materials, and organic and natural materials, it's an innovation, to be honest. And so people are preferring more because they have more time for purchasing. They have more time for considering that there's natural sleep. So this is one innovation. Of course, the hygienic products like antivirus, antiviral products are getting more and more popular. So these, my point of view, the innovation will go natural, biodegradable, and of course sustainable products.
Right. And of course, coming to the question that I had asked earlier, knowing what you have known right now, would you have done anything different? Would you have approached the situation anything in any different way that would have helped or made a difference for the future? Mr. Ali, would you want to answer that?
Yeah. Yes. So yes, we're making. As I told you, we have taken our lesson from this pandemic and still learning too much about what we should do. We had a system called integrated business planning. So all right, now even as the world leader, we are supplying, we are buying, and we are facing the raw material shortage from our suppliers. So what we have changed, we have really focused too much on planning. And it starts with the demand plan. And we agree on one set of numbers. And finance is fully integrated. And then from strategy to capabilities to service targets and corporate goals, we make a big scale strategy. So it's not only we make a strategy and we go for it because high demand is coming, We have to work with sales, production, finance, and with our customers. We started to listen too much to our customers, and we make cross-functional assets. So this is what we have done. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to much more understand. We're going to correct ourselves, and we're going to sustainably improve. This is our goal. We're going to understand the situation, whatever it is. This is now I'm talking about the future. We're going to correct ourselves and improve, continuously improve. This is what I really suggest to all of you, all of us in the industry, because without understanding the situation, you couldn't correct yourself. And then without correcting yourself, you couldn't improve the situation. Yes, we will be facing many the problems, but so I'm talking on my company's behalf. We're going to listen better to our customers. We're going to take the consumers' reactions better to understand that, and we're going to improve ourselves. And this pandemic is a very good lesson, because you think that you're the biggest, you're the leader, but then you understand that you're not. and because being a leader needs an improvement. And on the other side, like Mr. Onder said, machinery. Yes, Turkey is very much innovative in the machinery side also. Really, I am very proud of what the industry is making for the mattress business. But just one thing, and on this point, mattress producers, our biggest suggestion to them is to focus on mattress production. Because if you focus on your own production, because what we're seeing, everyone is buying machines to produce materials, so the side business should grow, like the automotive, because automotive did make its growth internationally like this. We should follow automotive, because mattress producers should produce mattresses. This is what's happening in Europe. In US, this is happening like this, because nobody's producing its own springs. Because mattress producer is not a spring producer. Mattress producer is not a fabric producer or material producer. You should be working with the suppliers that is countable, reliable, and focus on the technology, how to produce the mattresses. This is a side note. Let me say it like that. Thank you.
Very nicely put, sir. Any other closing notes before we end, before we wrap up the conversation?
Just very short note for this. I totally agree with Mr. Ali. He has the rights, and I totally agree with him. Plus, I want to add something that, for the manufacturers, it is time of securing the payments. So the selling is not the result, okay? You can sell it. You can sell anything you want, but the current pandemic situation is very critical, because if you cannot secure your payments, so it is totally a very big risk, and then it's very, how to say, it's very important, let's say, we can say it's very important to secure the payments. I just wanted to add this. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, panelists, for taking time out for us. And, it certainly shows us that, the pandemic has led to so many more discussions that kind of helped us understand where the market is headed in the new normal, if we may say so. And thank you again, and thank you to the audience, for being so patient and being a part of the session and making it so engaging for us. So in case you need any more information, about the show or anything about even the topic that we discussed today, do get in touch with us, and we'll try our best to get back to you as well. So we'd love to hear back from you. So get in touch with us, and if you have anything unique, innovation or an approach, do let us know and you want to talk about it. We'll definitely address those issues as well. So until next time, do stay safe. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mega. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mega.
Thank you, everyone, and Mega, great contribution. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Keep safe. Okay.
Evet, Mahmut Bey, görüşürüz.
Görüşürüz Öner Bey. Kendinize iyi bakın.
Selamlar.